If you were born on the 9th, the 18th, the 27th, or if you have a Lifepath 9, you are here to master your emotions and use them to serve humanity. As a 9, you are a universal citizen. You can feel all the love, all the pain, and all the suffering of this entire planet. You guys have the highest level of compassion for humanity. Just like the 6, you guys are deeply moved at a heart and at a soul level. But the difference between the 6 and the 9 is that the 6 is more concerned with their immediate environment, while the 9 wants to influence the entire planet. They want to influence as many people as they possibly can. Because the 9 has the qualities of all the numbers before it built into itself, these people have an innate level of wisdom that they can tap into. They have the natural boldness and leadership skills of the 1. They're just as intuitive and emotional as the 2. They have the level of creative expression as the 3. These people have the work ethic, the practicality, and the systematic-oriented nature of the 4. They're very adaptive and communicative, just like the 5. They're just as loving, if not even more loving, than the 6. They have the intelligence of the 7, and they have the level of strategy and ambitiousness and seriousness of an 8. And so 9s, these people tend to be a product of their environment. And this is because any number you add to 9 is going to equal itself, which makes the 9 easily influenced by their surroundings. 9s have an absorptive quality that causes them to extract all the energy that's around them and embody it at a soul level. And then they express it back outwardly. And so if a 9 grows up in an environment that's very aggressive and very violent, they're going to be the most aggressive and violent person in that entire environment. King Von is a perfect example of this. He was born on the 9th. If a 9 is in a very loving environment, they're going to be the most loving person in that environment. If a 9 is around people that are extremely religious, the 9 is going to become the most religious person there. The 9s absorb the energies that are around them, embody them, and then reflect it back into their environment. They do this naturally without even trying it. And so they're easily influenced by their friends, easily influenced by their family, easily influenced by just their environment. These people are super emotional, and their emotions tends to absorb all the energy that is around them. And so this is why they need to master their emotions, because it doesn't matter how intelligent a 9 is. They tend to be some of the most intelligent people on this planet. If they can't get a hold of their emotions, they're going to end up being really crazy. The 9 is a very intense energy to work with, and if they don't master their emotions, them even more so than a 2, because 2s need to master their emotions as well. But a 9's emotions are even more intense than a 2's. So if they don't master their emotions, they're not going to have any control of their life. And they may end up being crash outs. They may end up just doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff, getting into unnecessary arguments, unnecessary debates, unnecessary fights. They may find themselves overly giving to other people, being suckers for sob stories, getting dragged into other people's situations, and infinitely helping people and giving these people everything that they have, and neglecting their own needs. And so 9s need to control their emotions. This is the biggest thing for them. The 9 is supposed to be the wisest number by far out of all the other numbers. They're even more wise than 11s, 22s, 33s, and 44, because the number 9 is the number of completion. It is the number of endings. These people are supposed to be the wisest out of all the numbers, but very few of these people live up to their potential because they're never able to tap into that higher aspect of their being. 9s need to raise the vibration of their emotions into a higher state so that they can devote themselves to their ideals. 9s are extremely idealistic. They're extremely noble. They're extremely patriotic. These people are very outspoken. They're very opinionated. They have no filter. They always tell the truth. Unless they're just around a whole bunch of liars. Like I said, they tend to be products of their environments. But these people need to raise their emotions to a higher level. And they can only do this by spending a lot of time alone. The 9 interior is the hermit. A lot of them are extremely social. 9 is the most socially conscious number, and then the most influential number. And these people have the highest likelihood of fame. And they tend to be well liked by everyone. But their biggest issue is that these people, they never end up mastering their emotions. And they're only going to master their emotions by spending a considerable amount of time alone.
When they're around other people or being influenced by other people, they will always sacrifice their own ideals for someone else's vision. These people need to separate themselves from humanity, go into solitude, figure out what it is they want out of life, and only network and pick friends and align themselves with people who are aligned with their vision and aligned with their goals. Not just supposed to be leaders this lifetime, not followers. They're supposed to be influencers, not the ones that are being influenced. So the only way that you're going to channel the higher aspect of this 9 energy is by going in solitude. Y'all are not supposed to be out in the mountains meditating somewhere. 9 is humanitarian. Y'all are supposed to be serving humanity at the highest level. But you're only going to be awakened to your higher purpose by spending some time by yourself alone. This could mean you traveling to another country for a year and getting away from your friends and your family and getting away from your environment. But the number 9 is also a traveler. So try not to stay in the environment that you grew up in and travel the world, meet new people, have some new experiences, go to different zip codes, go to different locations so that you can really find yourself. But also, don't hold on to things that are no longer serving you as well. But all in all, this number is extremely hardworking, and these people have the ability to finish everything that they start. They have the ability to complete everything that they start. These people are perfectionists. They're very idealistic, and as long as their goals are aligned with serving humanity, the universe will help them achieve whatever it is that they want, and the universe will provide for them always. But a 9 has to serve without expecting anything in return. The number 8 is the number of giving and receiving. 8s are always rewarded for what they put out into the universe. But as a 9, you guys are going to give a lot and you're not going to receive anything. But the universe itself is going to guide you. You guys are here to serve the world without expecting anything in return. As a 9, you are giving back this lifetime, giving back all the wisdom that you have accumulated from your past lifetimes. And the universe is going to give you whatever you need, as long as you devote your life to the upliftment of humanity. And you can do this through being a psychologist. You can get into the health industry. You can become an artist. You can become a teacher. Whatever you choose, whatever it is that you do has to directly uplift humanity or improve the world. As a 9, you're supposed to leave this world a better place than it was before you got here. And this will help you fulfill your higher purpose. Now, if you would like a full in-depth analysis of your entire numerology chart, just click link in my profile bio and read my book, Supreme Mathematics, A Complete Guide on Chaldean Numerology.